Hello YouTube! I am Pinstar and this is Age of Wonders 4 Strategy and Tactics Quick Tip. So today's tip is about starting out. As any veteran of a 4X strategy game will tell you, what happens in your early turns has a snowball effect on your power level later in the game. And this tip is specific to the first couple of turns with your city. If you have the traits Imperialists or Adept Settlers, this tip is a non-issue. You start with the free population and can expand right away. But not every build needs to take one of these two traits. They are really good traits, to be honest here. This tip is more on how to jumpstart your build if you do not have either one of these traits. When you start a game, assuming you do not have either of the traits that give you an instant population, you might say, okay, well, let's start building here. Let's build a structure, storehouse or workshop. I would go workshop, but you could go storehouse as well. Those would be the one of the two that I would go with here. And then here, oh yeah, we're going to start training up our military. By the way, this is on the hard settings. And you might say, okay, well, that's as good as I'm going to get here. Well, not so much. The problem therein lies that it takes forever to grow your first population. And until you get your first building on the ground, it's not even about getting the +5 production, or in this case +15 if you build it on one of your resources. It's about getting the discounts to your buildings. That, combined with the additional income, accelerates you so much more. So how do you do it? How do you do it when you don't get that freebie starter population? I'll tell you how you do that. Don't train a unit on the very first turn. Just leave that empty. Here, yes, your military power will take a hit, but it's just one turn. So we're going to go ahead and pass the turn here. What do we do now? We attract population. The extra food we generated here brings the amount of population needed for the next level down to the point where we could afford that. At the same time, we've got ourselves our 40 Imperium, which we can spend 30 of to boost it. And yes, this is a very useful use of our very limited Imperium. Tracked population. What you would do is, now that as soon as you get that attract population, you can immediately expand into a province. I would highly recommend going into your province that starts with that has the iron deposit here. And in this case, we want to build whatever the province building, in this case a farm, that boosts the building that we're working on. That instantly applies the discount to the production required to this, so now it's only going to take us 2 turns, whereas previously it took 6. Now, if you wanted to be a real cheapskate, you could actually hold off on starting your building until turn 2 so that you can utilize the gold discount for this, but then you lose out on 1 turn of production. So that's my tip. Now you might be saying, well, Pinstar, that's kind of a minor tweak. Is that really that important? Well, my friends, let me show you the difference. So here we have a version of this save on this start with this faction that did the slow grow. We just, we went right into building stuff, right into training troops, and grew naturally. This version, we did this a 1-turn trick into expending a little of our Imperium. And look how much more we have. And it's not just land. It's not just land. We have so many more buildings built in version 2. So this is the build of our turn 10. And what do we have built in here? Everything. We have just grown to our 6th population size here. And as you can see, we've been spreading out quite nicely. Let's grab another forester while we're at it. And as far as our buildings go, we have a lot in there. We already have our tier 2 town hall, in addition to our tier 1 farm, our tier 1 and 2 mason, our tier 1 gold, our tier 1 library, and our tier 1 shrine, already constructed, ready to rock and roll. And we just finished a new building, so we're ready to go, and we have a ton of boosts to keep going here and keep growing here. So that is without any further boosts, and again, utilizing the same exact faction on the same exact map. Also, we have enough to have not only founded this outpost, but we had enough to start it cooking into a city. So that little bit of expenditure of Imperium is not slowing our expansion down in the least. A little change, a little optimization can have a big effect. And for your other cities, for your secondary cities, if you haven't unlocked a tech or an empire skill that gives you a freebie citizen there, I would recommend utilizing the same trick to jumpstart your secondary cities to make sure they're not slow growing and you're not paying full price for their first building. So if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent, your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, it's been Pinstar signing out. See ya.